Alright, the next thing we'll take a look at is the backup reservoir and float valve system. Now the main purpose of the float valve is to ensure that you don't have water loss issues with regards to evaporation. What you see here first is the actual float valve unit. There is a white float that, as the water level rises, actually seals off the water flow that's going to drip out of this unit. So when it's down, there's going to be water dripping coming from your backup reservoir or your RO optional filter if you purchase that. And as the water level increases, it's going to turn it right off. Now this unit here actually connects through the back of the unit. You'll see there's actually white Teflon tape and a nut to prevent any water leakage seals. And that goes through a long 1/4 inch black tube that once again is going to go through that same grommet hole to the rear of your unit. And that will ultimately be supplied by the backup reservoir. Now if you take a look, we have several things in front of us. One is the chain, and the chain is actually going to wrap around the handle of the unit. And that chain hangs by a 3M sticky hook on the rear of the unit that can hold quite a bit of weight. And that's simply going to allow for easy access and moving of the actual backup reservoir. Now on the bottom of the backup reservoir there is a grommet. Now this grommet is very important. It allows for a pressure seal around the 1/4 inch tubing so that there's no leakage. So you want to take that 1/4 inch tube that you put through the rear of the unit, push it into that seal so that it's flush with the top of the grommet, and then simply fill up your backup reservoir with water. You do not want to put your nutrients in here. You just want to put your normal standard water that's going to compensate for evaporation. And you also want to make sure that when you put on the lid, you do not screw it tightly, because if you screw it tightly, it'll actually create a vacuum seal and it won't let the water flow properly. So you basically want to take that cap off, put it on top, and just set it on lightly so no dust gets in there. But do not seal it tight or you may have a problem with a vacuum. Now, there's also, if you don't want to use the 1 gallon backup reservoir, say for example you want to hook it up to a 55 gallon drum, you can actually take the grommet that comes attached on this unit and you can pull it out of the plastic, and you can actually take that grommet and press it into a drilled out hole that's the size of the internal diameter, which is about 1/8, maybe a little bit larger than that. And you can attach that to a larger drum if you're going out of town, say for over a week in length. There's also the option where if you purchase the RO unit, instead of inserting that tube into the grommet, you're going to actually insert it into a portion of the RO filter, which we will once again cover in a different section.